Sergio Studios. Extra. Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Sergio Dominguez with another production vlog for my animated short animated tour. So, since the last time, it's been a couple of months, and really I've gone back into making this cartoon like 2 months ago, and I had other things going on, but now, for the moment, I'm back into production for animated tour, and it's coming along just nice. My little chunky, little sweetie, joining in this little production part of the vlog. So, yeah, I'm at the point in production where I am finished with the hand-drawn animation part of just Bezquo. Now, he's not fully complete, but I did do all of mostly the main line art animation of the character. And other than coloring, he's almost done. But he's coming along great. Really good. Like I said before, he's hand-drawn animated. But since he was so complicated, I had to hand-drawn animate this character in different layers. So there's a layer of him, of just his torso. There'll be a couple of frames where he has his arms in the same frame, like this is in the same layer. But for the most part, I had to have a layer for just the arm for the handle, his other arm, and what we see here, his mouth. Because hand-drawn animating this character, even though I kept him simple, was still a lot for me and the software to handle. But it was still a very fun experience, and you know, animating Bezquo ultimately took me like 2 months or so, to animate. But you know, this part took a long time. This layer of Bezquo's face and feet, torso, and all these extreme poses took weeks, maybe like a month or so. And the arm, like this arm, took maybe a couple of days, 3 days to a week, while the other arm took a couple hours, because it was mainly had to focus on that arm being stationary, as you can see. So we're going to run through this, but the most difficult one to animate was the mouth, the lip sync of the character. The mouth, it was difficult to do, to animate. Even though it took me a total of 3 days, it was a very excruciating 3 days, and I'll bring up why. But let me just pass through this character. So, you know, he's like, pressing buttons, look at him go. You know, I selected his mouth. Let's unselect that, and look, oh, he has a little boink. And even though he's hand-drawn animated, when I was animating him, I was off with his size. His size of the character keeps going all over the place. So once I did finish animating him in that layer, I still created like a peg, put him in this peg, and just animate you know, these key frames here to keep him a consistent size to this size right here. Because there were moments where he was getting bigger, he was getting smaller. The way I was animating him and drawing him, he was going out of proportions all over the place. So you can see these extra lines saying like, oh, where the peg went, and it went all over the place. Because he had to start from this size and end in the exact same size how he started. And throughout that time, he is just going all over the place. Because he's a very wacky cartoon character, and I gotta just also get these tween frames to keep him still, keep him this size for this experience, which is gonna be a VR experience. Yay! Really, one of the most immersive cartoons I've ever made. Yay! So excited to experiment and figure out how to heck put this together. Which it's still going on, still in that Bezquo era. Then we'll get to the locations. You know, these are just these lines and charts of what his eye line, his eyesight, and where the area is going to be, and how the audience is going to see I'm going to make two versions, a VR version, but also still like that 16:9 aspect ratio of it too, if people don't want to see it through VR. So 2 versions of the same video. It's going to be very ambitious, but I'm excited. It's coming along well, and I like how the way Bezquo's moving, his mouth animation, lip sync is good. I looked over the lip sync a couple of times. So if you see here how that arm is like popping all over the place, how inconsistent that is, but how smooth this is, because this is what you're going to see. This part here, you're not going to see it because I'm going to fill it in with his color and uniform and stuff. So I'll get to that soon. Maybe when I'm filling him in, I might have to, with color, I'm going to have to look over the lines a little bit more. Some of them are rough because this one like is a marker drawn and scanned in. Well, a lot of it, especially the in-between frames and some of the arms, were drawn on the tablet. And that was a tough process, hand-draw animating them on the Cintiq. And it's not the Cintiq's fault. It is Toon Boom. April 30th, 2007. And my gosh, whenever I try to do hand-drawn animation on this, it would always glitch. And sometimes the lines and outlines would be warped. It would move. The reaction time would be slow. It was tedious. It was very tedious and excruciating. He was like, whoa, like that. You know, I try not to draw smear frames, but in this case, I animated like a funny smear frame. So yeah, hand-drawn animating this character was both very soothing, but also very tedious and uncomfortable just because of the software. But, you know, figuring out, okay, this is here, go from here to here, here are the keyframe, these keyframe, and the in-betweens. And this keyframe to keep them the same size. Yeah. Whoa. Going through all this. Wrong place. I love this drawing. In the point of production, I had this drawing, but I didn't have the recording for him to make this necessary look, so I had to add in 10 more seconds of dialogue and create 10 more seconds of animation for this to work, but it ended up working well. Like, it goes, whoa, pose, and my quick in between, whoop, whoa, whoop, whoa, whoa, wrong place. You know, and you're trying to just figure it all out. Yeah, trying to figure out the map, and whoa. Just go back home. I'm loving this so far. Pretty neat. Pretty amazing. And I haven't even got to trying to turn this into a VR experience yet. But it's going to be great. Hopefully. But let me see. What else do I have here? Now I can bring up the lip sync of the character. Now you see there's 1, 2... Yeah, about 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Now let me double check. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. There's a 7th, but this was just a placeholder. There's nothing really in this one. But yeah, there's reason why there's like 6 layers of mouths, and you see they're all in like order when to play. It's because when I got to the lip sync process, by that point in production, I already animated Bezquo, the arms, and colored some of the stuff in. And also filled this in and all that stuff. It got so much, you know, drawings and information inside this software that by the time I got to the lip sync, I had to also go to play, sound playback on. So when I animate the lip sync, I can go to, you know, whatever frame here. This is the audio, and hear every frame of the audio, because I got to hear every frame of the audio and draw in the mouth pose. Now the problem with that is, like I said, so many layers, drawings, and keyframes that when I would have to hear it one at a time, it would not only come out slowly, but when I try to draw it in, the response time was bad. It wouldn't let me draw smoothly because the software would be glitching even more. So trying to make like a really nice, just even making this like smile or frown or this line, just a line, the reaction time was bad, and the line would come out not finished, behind, a dot, you know, so it was a technical nightmare. So to solve this, I would have to make several copies of versions of this in pieces, split this whole cartoon into 3 separate parts, 3 different sections of the audio, leave only this available, and a layer of to put in the mouth drawings and listen to it one by one like that, because that's the only time I could like hear each frame, draw it in properly, comfortably, and animate this without having glitches or crashes and all that technical stuff. But it did leave me with a lot of layers, and when I was done drawing the mouths, I would take it to the library, take it from the library to this current project and put it here and put it in order. So that's why it has different layers, different layers on top of each other. And I decided to keep it like that. Maybe I could have put it into a one whole layer, like copy and paste it here. But having it this to this is fine for now. It still goes from here to here seamlessly. After seeing the recent preview of this. See when it goes this and this. And yeah, the mouth animation is good. There were some frames where I had to move things around and stuff, but that was the biggest issue I had technically with the hand-drawn animation of Bezco. This part because of Toon Boom, and lip sync because of this version of Toon Boom. But so far, so good. Bezco is just still hanging on with everything I've put him through. Look at him. Yay, we did it. Yeah, we just need to color this guy in. And the next thing I need to also do is fill in this little bit of space. And I also got to animate this. He's holding it, but there's going to be, as you saw when I go through, he's not holding it. So I got to animate this specifically to the frames where he's here or sometimes here and there. And I also got to animate like a base for this. So this will have a couple of frames where it's a little bit off, just so it can be properly held by Bezco throughout the whole time. But it's still going to be really neat. There you go. Woo. So, again, showing you progress, and so far, so good. Anyway, thank you very much for this little presentation of the progress of me showing you animated tour so far, and I hope you enjoyed it so far. Coming along nicely. I'm so excited. So, again, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And comment if you want to down below, and follow me on my social media networks if you want to. So again, thank you. I am Sergio Dominguez saying, have an animated day.